Amanda Bentley-Brymer's backyard has some of the biggest, toughest weeds in Oxford. That's because Bentley-Brymer lives on Silvore Lane and is volunteer curator of the Silvore Biological Sanctuary, and she's on a mission to tackle the park's honeysuckle infestation, which has become a big problem.
So I'm 5'2", and this honeysuckle is probably double my height. So it can grow even higher, up to 15 to 30 feet.
Honeysuckle first arrived in southern Ohio in the 1950s, first planted by landscapers as a privacy barrier, but the shrub's fast growth and hardiness soon made it a persistent barrier in natural areas.
One of its common names is Amur honeysuckle, A-M-U-R, and that's because it's named for the Amur River, which is on basically the border between China and Russia, so very cold. And what it does is it's one of the very first plants to leaf out in the spring and one of the last to finish in the fall. And so the other thing that it does is shades out most of our natural native ephemerals, things like trillium and blue-eyed Marys and that kind of stuff, simply because it makes such a thick canopy that they then can't live.
And in addition to sunlight, honeysuckle gets in the way of enjoying local parks.
I don't like it. I think it's kind of ugly, and it's a bummer. Like, you go to forests where you just see lines of trees and like no underbrush. It's so beautiful. Yeah. So I just think it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I remember being up in Cleveland for a friend's wedding, like last fall, and one of the mornings I was going for a run in the woods, and there was no honeysuckle, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what nature's supposed to look like.
But others have simply given up on local parks.
But as far as trying to do something about it at this point, just like a lot of invasive species, it's going to be a little too late.
Yet that hasn't stopped Bentley-Brymer from organizing volunteers to cut down honeysuckle and treat the stumps with herbicide for good measure.
So this is a section that we worked on 2 years ago with about 40 volunteers. And what I've noticed, and I haven't tracked scientifically, but just from the eye, having walked through here, you see large white trillium in sections where I hadn't seen them before.
And for Bentley-Brymer and her volunteers, every cleared path and fresh flower is a big victory.